Welcome to my video on an important C++ project. In this video, we will write a program for bank account management system, and in this program, we will provide 5 options to user. First for open account, second for deposit cash, third for withdraw cash, and fourth for balance inquiry, and fifth for exit from program. So I am using div C++ as a code editor. So you can use div C++, VS Code and other. Okay. So here first I will include IOStream library to handle input and output. So here I will include with sharp sign. Okay. Sharp include IOStream. Okay. So this library is used to handle input and output. So now I will write statement using namespace std. Okay, and then I will start main function. Okay, and the body of main function. Okay, so now first I have to declare some global vectors. Okay, so what are vectors? Vectors are data structure. They are used uh, to contain data. For example, we can use array, we can use list, and also we can use vector instead of array and instead of list. Okay, so here I will include first with sharp sign, sharp include. Okay, and vector. Okay, so vector. Now I will insert every information in vector. Okay, so now I will declare some global vectors. So here first vector. Okay, with type string. Here I have to define a type, that is string, and now I have to create an object for this vector. Okay, so now I can give any name. So here I have to contain names or insert names in this vector. So this is name vector. Okay, so next I will declare another vector. Okay, vector, and its type should integer type. Okay, int. So it will be used for id vector, and next I will declare another vector with type int. Okay, so it will be used to contain balance information. Okay, so here balance I will type balance vector. Okay, so now I have to create another vector for password. Okay, vector. So password can string and can integer. So I will give type string. Okay, string, because it will carry both uh, character and integer. Okay, so that's why I'm defining type of this vector string, and now I have to define the name of object. So this is password vector. Okay, so now I have declared 4 vectors. First for name, second for ID, third for password, and then last for balance. Okay, so now I have to provide these 5 options to user. So here I will start from here. Sorry, first I will use while loop. Okay, while true. So this loop will be executed until this is true. Okay, so if we have to exit the loop while loop, then we have to set option for this. Okay, so here I will use C out. Okay, and here this is bank. Sorry, bank. We should capital bank account management. Okay, so this is our title. I will use handle to break the line, and next I will give a border. Okay, so here I will use equal sign, and next I will use handle once again to break this line. And now because I want to print every new information or string or option on new line. Okay, so here I have to use C out. Okay, now I have to provide option one for. Okay, if user will click one, then he wants to open account. Okay, open account, and here I will use dot, okay, and then and L, okay, to break the line. And next I have to provide second option, okay, so deposit cash, okay, deposit cash, and next I will use and L, and now see out 3. So this was deposit cash, and now withdraw cash, okay, withdraw, sorry, withdraw cash. And now I will use handle once again to break the line. And now I have to give option, fourth option, okay, balance inquiry, sorry, balance inquiry, okay, and then I have to provide fifth option, okay, 5 for exit, okay, exit. And here I will use handle once again, and now I have to get value from user, okay, so I have to use a variable to carry the user entered option, okay, so here I will declare a variable with type int, okay, with name choice, and next I will print an other string cout enter choice, okay, now I have to get choice using cin, okay, here I will use choice, and then I will get choice, and then I will assign user entered value in this variable, okay. Now I have to set conditions, so if choice is equal 1, then user wants to open new account, okay, open account, sorry, account. And if choice is equal 2, here I will use else if choice is equal to, then user want to deposit cash, okay, deposit cash. And else if I will use else if choice is equal 3, then user want to withdraw cash, okay, withdraw cash. And else if, okay, else if choice is equal 4, so this is for balance inquiry, okay, balance inquiry. And next, sorry, and next I have to uh, handle fifth option, okay, else if choice is equal 5, then user want to exit from program, okay, so here I will use system clear screen, okay, cls, so this will erase or remove everything, okay, I mean this previous output, then it will print next string or information, okay, so here I will type C out, okay, best of luck, best of luck, and then I will use and L, okay, and here I have to break the while loop, okay, so while user does not enter 5, then this while loop will continued, and it will give option again and again, okay, and now I have to handle else, okay, if user enters any other digit or number, then we have to print error message, okay, see out, okay, and see out invalid input, so this is invalid input if user enters any other number, okay, so here I will use and okay, so now I have to handle these four conditions, okay, so if user enters 1, then he wants to open account, if he or she enters 2, then they want to deposit cash, and if they enter 3, then they want to withdraw cash, and for balance they will click 4, okay, so now I have to define functions to handle these conditions, okay, so here I will define a return type of this function, that is void, I mean it will return nothing. Okay, so now open account. Okay, open account, and then I have to uh, start the body of this function. Now I have to get some information from user. Okay, so first I have to get name. Okay, so here I will define a variable, sorry, declare a variable with type string because name is string. Okay, so here I will get name, and then our password is also string type. Okay, so password, and then I will declare two more variables with type int. Okay, so int, now I have to declare another variable with type int. So this for id and second for balance. Okay, or only bal. Okay, so these are four variables, and now we have to get some information from user. Okay, so here I have to use cout, enter user name. Okay, so here we have to get user name. So I will use say in, and then I will get this name in name variable. Okay, and next I have to print one string one time more. Okay, enter user id. Okay, so you can consider this id as a account number. Okay, and then I will use c in, and then id. Okay, and next c out, enter user password. Okay, password, then we have to get password from user. Okay, c in password. Okay, so still we have no need for this val variable. Okay, so when we will deposit cash, then we will use this balance variable. Okay, so now I have declared these three variables, and then I am getting three information from a user. First is his or his name. Okay, her or his name. Okay, and then I am getting id and then password of user. Okay, so next here I have to insert this information in these vectors. Okay, so here I will use name vector. So here name vector dot pushback. So this is method to insert any value in this vector, push back. Okay, so now I have to push or insert value that is in name variable. Okay, so here I will use name, and next is our id. Okay, so here id vector, sorry, id vector dot pushback. Okay, so this is pushback, and here I will push id, a variable that contains id of user. Okay, now I have to add password. Okay, so pw vector dot pushback. Okay, and here I have to use pw, I mean password, and then we will print a message, cout. Okay, your account, your sorry, account opened successfully. Okay, successfully, this message will be printed, and then I will use end l, and then I will print a empty line. Okay, so here I will use end l. So now what were we doing? We are getting this information from user, and then we are inserting user name, user id, and user password in these three vectors. Okay, so now I will call this function in first condition. Okay, and here I will use system clear screen to erase previous output, and then we will print new information or string. Okay, so here I will call open account function. Okay, and then I will use semicolon, and now I will save my project in any folder. You can save anywhere in your computer. So this is bank account. Okay, bank account, and I have saved it. Now I will compile and run my project. So if I have no any error, but I have error, and error is because of spelling mistake. Okay, so this is pushback. I will save it and then I will compile and run once again. Okay, so if now we have no any error and we have no any error, and now we have to open account. I will click one. Okay, and username I will enter John, and user ID I will enter 12345. Okay, and then I will click enter key and user password. Now we can create any password. Okay, for example J12345. Okay, so now I will click enter. Your account opened successfully. Okay, so this is our output, and now uh, these are our options. Okay, but still we have no more option. First we have to define functions for next options. So I will close this terminal and then I will uh, make another function. Okay, here I will define function with return type void. I mean it will return nothing, and then I have to give a name to my function. But first I will close this terminal, and now I will give any name. So this is deposit. Okay, deposit function, and now I will start the body. Okay, and here I have to get user ID. Okay, and then we do not need for password if a user is depositing cash, but when he wants to withdraw cash, then we will get password from user. Okay, so here we will get ID and balance. Okay, or cash. So here I will declare two variable. Okay, first for uh, integer type, that is for ID, and second for balance. Okay, or amount. So I should type amount, and then I will print string that enter your ID. Okay, here we will get ID of user, and then we will use cin to get ID, and then we will assign user entered value in ID variable. Then we have to get amount. Okay, so here I will print message C out. Okay, enter depositing cash. Okay, deposit sorry depositing cash. So here I will use semicolon and then a cin, and we will get value in amount variable. Okay, so now we have to insert this. First we have to find this account number with this user entered ID. Okay, so here I will use for loop. Okay, for int I. Okay, this is initial value. So this for loop will be started from 0. Okay, and then next I have to set termination condition. Okay, I less than. Here I have to execute the for loop according to the size of id vector. Okay, id vector dot size. So this is size method that returns the size of vector, and then I plus plus. So a step by step iteration uh, are necessary. So here I am using I plus plus to increase the value one by one. Okay. So next I have to use if condition. If user entered ID is equal ID saved in ID vector. Okay. So we will check or try to compare this user entered ID with every index of this vector. Okay. So in first iteration, it will try to find the user entered ID in first index of this vector. If it matches successfully, then we will break this for loop. Okay. Here I will type statement break, and then here I will set a flag. Okay. Uh, First, I will declare variable with type bool, and its name is found, okay, and still it is false. So this is a flag. When we will match any ID with any index number, then we will set this found true. It means that we have found uh, this ID in our vector, okay. So I will set it true, okay, and then I have to deposit this cash, or I have to insert this amount in balance vector, okay. So this was balance vector. So next I have to insert this user entered amount in balance vector. So here I will use balance vector dot pushback. You know that pushback is used to insert value in this vector. Okay, so our value is in our amount variable. Then I will print message that cash deposited successfully. Okay, cash deposited successfully. So this message will print, okay, and here I will use and L, and then another empty line, okay, with and L, okay. So this message will be printed, okay. So next I have to set second condition, that if this ID does not exist, okay, then we have to print message that this is invalid ID, okay. So out of the for loop, okay, remember that you have to define this condition out of the body of this for loop, okay. So here if not found, I mean that still found is false, okay. So if it does not match with any index number, then this is still false, okay. So here I have to print message that C out, okay. So invalid user ID. So this is invalid user ID, and here I will use and L, and then again empty and L, okay, sorry, line with and L, okay. So this message will be printed if user ID does not match with any index, okay. So how can we find from our vector? So in first iteration of this for loop, we will try to match this ID with first index of this vector. If it matches, then we will perform these calculations, and then we will break the for loop. If it does not match in first iteration, then uh, there will be second iteration, okay. So in second iteration, uh, and this program or project will try to match this user entered ID with second index of this vector, okay. If it match, then we will break this for loop after these calculations. Otherwise we there will be third iteration, and it will be continued according to the size of this vector, okay. So sorry, here this is vector. So now I have to call this function here, okay, deposit cash, and here I have to call this function. So this is deposit function, okay, and I will use semicolon, but first I will call system clear screen method, okay, system CLS. Now I will save this code, and then I will compile and run it. I have any error? So what is error? I think this is because of this semicolon, okay. So now if found true, sorry, I have to remove this, okay. So it was printed accidentally, so I will save it once again, and then I will compile and run it once again. So this is for loop. Here I have to use semicolon, and then I will try to compile it once again into main. So now what is problem? Expected one more this curly brace. Okay, I have to check these curly braces. Okay, so this is function closing, and then sorry, function starting body, and then this is for loop. Okay, for loop, this is for this if condition, okay, and this is for this nested if condition, and now I have to use another brace, okay. So now I will save it once again and then I will compile and run. So now I think I have no any error. So now I will open account with one username John. Okay. So user ID 12345. Okay. And next user password J123. Okay. So this is password and your account opened successfully. Now we have to deposit cash. So I will click to and here I have to enter ID 12345. Okay. So enter depositing cash. I have to deposit 15 dollar. Okay. So now cash deposited successfully. Okay. So now I have to make functional this third option. Okay. So I will close the project and now I will close this terminal and here I will define an other function. Okay. With return type void and function name should withdraw. Okay. WD function. So now I will start the body of this function and then I have to get user ID, user password, and then we have to compare this ID and password, and then we have to check that user entered cache is less than or equal to available cache in vector or account. Okay, so here we have to get user ID, user password, and amount. Okay, so here string, sorry, uh, integer type ID, okay, amount, and then I will use semicolon. Now I will declare another variable with type string, that is password. Okay, so here I will get user ID. Okay, C out, enter your ID. Okay, so here I have to get ID using C in and I will assign this user entered value in ID variable. Okay, so next I will print next option, enter uh, password. Okay, your password. So here I have to get password. Okay, and then I will uh, save it in sorry, PW variable, and then I have to get amount. Okay, or I can handle this amount after checking condition. Okay, so here I will use for loop. Okay, for int I will assign 0 to I. Here I have to use termination condition I less than, so size of ID. Okay, so ID vector dot size, okay, I plus plus, and then I will set if condition, that if, okay, now we have to check both of these options, I mean ID and password. Okay, if they match, but first I have to check ID. Okay, so here I will check ID, that ID, sorry, user entered ID is equal our saved IDs. Okay, so here uh, ID is in our ID vector. Okay, and we will check it uh, in every index of this list. Okay, sorry, this vector. So here I will declare two flags. Okay, mm, with boolean type bool. Okay, first for ID found. Okay, and I will set it false, and then bool, next is password found. Okay, and it is still false, sorry, false. Okay, so now if id is equal any index of id vector, then we will set this flag true. Okay, so id found is true. So here I will set it true, and then I have to use a nested if. Okay, here if, now I have to check second condition, that is the password correct or incorrect. Okay, so here uh, if user entered password is equal, okay, pw vector I, sorry, I. Okay, and then I will set true second flag, that is password found Okay, now I will set it true. Okay, now I want to explain that in this for loop in first iteration, we are trying to search in first index of this id vector. If it matches, then we will set it true, and then we will check next condition. Okay, if password user entered password match with same index in first iteration in first index, and also here in first index. Okay, so if it is correct or a valid password, then we will set it true, and we will allow a user to withdraw cash. But first we have to check available balance is sufficient or insufficient. Okay, so here I will use third condition, that if now I have to get here, now I have to get amount from user. Okay, for withdraw purpose. Okay, so here I will print message that see out enter amount. So this message will print when these both conditions are true. I mean, user ID is also valid and password is valid too. Okay, then we will print this message and we will get amount from user. Okay, so here I will use C in amount. Okay, and now I have to check condition that if available amount is equal or greater than user entered amount. Okay, so here I will use if condition. If okay, amount is equal, sorry, user entered amount is less than or equal to, okay, our available balance in balance vector. Okay, balance vector. Okay, and here I have to use I. So here index number is same. For example, if here it is matching in second index, then this is also second index, and this is second index too. Okay, so here I have to start the body. Okay, and now we have to perform some calculations. First we have to modify this index number of balance vector. Okay, so balance, I mean I have to update it. Okay, balance vector. Okay, I, and then minus equal. Okay, or we can write it as equal balance vector I minus amount. Okay, minus user entered amount. Okay, so here we are trying to update this balance vector. Okay, for example, first this user have $1,000, and then he is trying to withdraw $500. Then uh, remaining balance should $500. So next I will print a success message by using C out. Okay, so here I will print message that operation was successful. Okay, sorry, successful. Okay, successful. This message will be printed if uh, everything is valid. Okay, I mean balance, ID, and password are valid. Okay, so here I will use an L, and then I will print an empty line. Okay, then I will break it too. Okay, so now I should uh, declare an other flag. Okay, here with type bool. Okay, so balance avail. Okay, bal avail, sorry, avail, and I will set it false. Okay, and if here balance is sufficient, then here I will set it true. Okay, bal avail, sorry, avail, I will set it true. Okay, still it is false, but when all operations are successful, then it will true. Okay, val avail is true. Now I have to uh, handle second options. I mean, if user ID is incorrect, then we have to print message that user ID is invalid. Otherwise, password is invalid or incorrect, then we will print message that your password is incorrect. And third, if user entered amount is greater than available or saved amount. Okay, then we have to print message that insufficient balance. Okay, so we have to handle this condition out of the body of this for loop. Okay, so here I will check that which is closing of for loop. So this is closing of for loop. I will comment out it. This is for loop. Okay, so here I have to set if condition. If not, so first was id found. Okay, if not, id found mean that id does not match with any index. Okay, so here I have to print message see out. Okay, invalid user id. Okay, and then I will use endl to break the line, and then an empty line. Okay, and next I have to set third condition that else, sorry, else if not, now I have to check password found. Okay, I mean that if still password found flag is still false, then I have to set this string that incorrect. Okay, incorrect user password. Okay, so this message will be printed and L. Okay, and then an empty line will be printed. Okay, and L. So next I have to set third condition that else if. Okay, else if not balance avail. Okay, so here I will print message see out. Okay, insufficient balance, insufficient balance. Okay, so this message will be printed if balance is less than user entered amount. Okay, and then I will print an empty line. Okay, then I will break this line too. Okay, so now our process is completed. Now I have to call this function. Okay, so I will call it here. Okay, so name of function was, I will see, so name of function is wd function withdraw function. Okay, so I will call this function here after system clear screen. Okay, and then name of function is wd function. Okay, and then I will use semicolon. Okay, now I have to test it, or I think we should test it after completing this last process. Okay, so here we have to uh, check balance. Okay, so here I have to define an other function. Okay, so before this main function I will define return type void, and this is balance inquiry. Okay, and then I will start the body. Now I have to get user id and password. Okay, so here I will define id, uh, sorry, first password. Okay, and then int id. Okay, so now I have to get id and password from user. Okay, see out, enter user id. Now I have to use see in. Okay, and I will get this value from user, and then I will assign this value to id variable. Then I will use see out once again, enter user password. Okay, password, and now I will get password. Okay, C in PW. Now I have to search it, but first I have to set two flags. Okay, bool. So here ID found. Okay, that is false, and bool uh, password found. Okay, so this is also false. And now I have to use for loop int I will assign it with 0, I less than id vector dot size. Okay, and then I plus plus. Now I will start the body. And here first I will compare ID in with our saved IDs in our vector. Okay, so here if user entered ID is equal ID vector. Okay, and we have to try to compare it with every index. Okay, so here if it match, then we will set ID found variable true. Okay, and then we will uh, set second condition that if password, okay, pw is equal password vector I. Okay, so it can match with any index, but if it does not match with any index, then this flag will remain false. Okay, so here we will set this flag true. Okay, so this is password found. Okay, password found, and I will set it true. So next if these both ID and password are correct, then we have to print name and um, balance of this user. Okay, so here your sorry C out, and then pair of double comma your available, sorry, why should capital, your available balance. Okay, or first I should print the name of this user. So here I will print name. Okay, so here I will print Mr. or Mrs. Okay, Mr. or Mrs. Okay, and then here I will print the name of this person. Okay, so here I have this name in our name vector. Okay, and I will use same index number, and then now I want to go to next line. Okay, so here name will be printed. Okay, sorry, I should use here dot and this uh, sign here. Okay, so here name will be printed, and then we will print message your available balance is. Here we have to print balance. Okay, balance is. Now we have to print balance. I will go to next line, and here I will try to print it. Okay, so here uh, I have balance in our balance vector. Okay, balance vector I, and then and L. Okay, so next I will break this for loop. Okay, and first I will print an empty line using C out. Okay, and L. Here I have to use L. Okay, so if user ID or password are incorrect, then we have to handle them. Okay, after the body of this for loop, I have to set condition that if, okay, if ID, sorry, if not ID, okay, if not ID found, then we have to print message C out. Okay, invalid user ID. Okay, so this error message will be printed, and then I will print an empty line. Okay, so next I have to handle second condition, else if, okay, not password found. Okay, then I will handle it C out. Okay, incorrect. Okay, incorrect password. Okay, so this message will be printed, and then we will break this line, and I will print an empty line. Okay, so now our process is completed. Now we have to call this function, and the name of this function was bal in, I mean balance inquiry. Okay, so here I will call this function bal inquiry. Okay, and then I will use semicolon. Now I will save it, and now I have to compile and run this project. Then we will test it completely if we have no any error. So we have no any error, and then I will click 1, and here I have to enter user name. I will enter John and then ID 12345. Okay, and password J123. Okay, so account is opened successfully. Now I will open another account. I will click one. Okay, name Peter and ID should 67890. Okay, and then password, so P 678. Okay, so this is for second user. So this is added successfully. Now I have to deposit cash. Okay, so I will click 2. Okay, here I have to insert ID, so I will enter invalid ID. So here I will enter 3456. Okay, I will click enter key. Here I have to enter cash. Okay, so I will cash enter 500. Okay, invalid user ID, so this ID is invalid. Okay, now I will enter valid ID. So here I will enter 2. Okay, and now I will enter valid ID 12345 and I will enter cash $100. Okay, so cash deposited successfully. Okay, so now I have to withdraw cash. So here I will click 3. Okay, to withdraw cash. Now I have to enter my ID. So I will enter invalid ID once again, and now I will enter password, uh, correct password for first user 123. Now our ID is invalid or incorrect, but password is correct. Then I will click enter key. So invalid user ID. Now user ID is invalid. Okay. Now I will enter valid ID but incorrect password. So here I will click 2 and here I will enter valid ID but incorrect password. Here I will enter J431 to anything. Okay, so invalid. Sorry, I have any error. I was facing a logical error, but I am not able to find it in this code. All code is correct. Okay, so I think it was because of any invalid entry. Okay, so I will save it once again, and now we will try to test it once again. Okay, so now I have to open account. Okay, with one. Okay, username, and now I will enter username, same name and same ID. Okay, and now I will enter same password. Okay, so open account successfully. Now I have to add one more account. Okay, username uh, Peter. Okay, and then user ID 67890. Okay, and password P678. Okay, so this is password. A user your account opened successfully. Now I have to deposit cash. So I will enter 2 and here I have to enter ID. So I will enter valid ID 12345. Then I will enter cash 100. So cash deposited successfully. Now I will enter 3. Okay, now your ID. Now I will enter valid ID. So here I will enter 23456. Okay, so password. Now I will enter password. So I can enter correct password P678. Okay, I will click enter. Invalid user ID. User ID is invalid. Now I will enter valid ID but invalid password. Okay, so I will click 3. Okay, and now I will enter valid ID for 12345 but incorrect password. Okay, so here I will enter S123. Okay, so invalid user password. Now user password is invalid. Okay, so now I will enter uh, invalid amount. Okay, so here I will click 3 and here I will enter valid ID 12345 and valid or correct password J123. Okay, and now these are correct. That's why we have this option to enter amount. Okay, now I will enter uh, amount 200, but we have only 100. Okay, insufficient balance. Okay, so now I will enter valid amount. So I will enter 3 and user ID. Now I will enter 12345 and password J123, and now I will enter 50. Okay, $50, and operation was successful. Okay, so everything is correct. I think we were entering incorrect entry. Okay, so now I have to check balance. So I will click 4. Okay, so enter ID. Here I have to ID. So I think I did not use system clear screen method. That's why this previous output is still uh, present. Okay, so now I will enter user incorrect ID once again. Okay, 2345. Okay, and password. Now I will enter valid password J123. Okay, invalid user ID. So user ID is invalid. Okay, now I will enter uh, 4 once again. Now I will enter correct or valid ID but invalid password. Okay, now I will enter ID. So ID is 12345. Okay. Password. Now I will enter incorrect password R343. Okay. So incorrect password. Now password is incorrect. Now I will enter uh, valid ID and password. Okay. So here I will enter 12345 and user password. Here I will enter password uh, J123. Okay, now Mr. or Mrs. John, your available balance is 50. Here you can see this is output. Mr. or Mrs. John, your available balance is $50. Okay, I can use dollar sign, but I am not using. Okay, so you can use system clear screen method right here. Okay, I want to show you here. I will close this terminal here. Okay, you should use system clear screen. Okay, so this was all about bank account management system using C++. I hope this video will be very helpful and easy to understand for you. If you like this video, then please share with your friends and class fellows. And if you have not subscribed our YouTube channel, then please subscribe our YouTube channel right now. Thank you.